I feel like my faith is ever evolving, but it's coming out of deism. I felt like I was starting to see God in different things in my life, but at the same time, I was just like, I had moved out to California, and I had gotten very sick, physically ill, and I was like laid up in bed for a while, and I like couldn't work, I couldn't do music, and I had gone out to do music, and I was like just became very depressed, was drinking like more than I should have been, and that wasn't helping.
Never does.
Yeah, you think it does, but
Briefly.
briefly, yeah, but it doesn't. And then the illness to the point where I was like, I have to go back to New York because I was staying with my aunt and uncle when I was sick, and they like run a company, so I was like, I just need to be back with my family, with my immediate family, I should say. And so ended up coming back to New York and didn't really tell too many people that I was here because I felt like I had failed in my
Oh wow, that's a terrible feeling.
in my adventure to California. I was like, I'm gonna move out there. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it.
Do you feel? I apologize if this is like a.
Do it up.
It's a question. I don't mean to imply anything by it. It's just something for me. When I look back on the worst things for me, which I can't claim to have that, but I'll be almost thankful for it in a way that it's like I'm really glad that I went through that because it got me here. You know, like because I don't know your situation, but I can imagine maybe if that didn't happen, you'd just keep going down this path that was just eating you alive and like not helping you. Do you know what I mean? Do you feel like it's better for you to have made whatever change you did based on that? I am really sorry. I'm trying really hard not to sound like. Are you glad that you wanted to commit suicide? Do you feel like I don't mean it that way, but
no, I mean like it was just weird because like maybe I would have experienced depression later in life.
Yeah.
I'm happy I discovered that I'm not invincible, and I am actually susceptible to it. Like, because I was just like, I heard about depression, I was like, oh, I'll never deal with that. I'm good on that. So it was. I think maybe it's was a blessing too in a way because now I have a deeper level of empathy for people who actually deal with depression, and unfortunately, in the Black community, we go through a lot of trauma, but we didn't really learn how to deal with it well. Because there's just like a lot of horrible stuff that we've gone through just as a community and as a people. And so the healing process has been very difficult. And so, unfortunately, a lot of us just didn't know how to deal with, and still don't know how to deal with, just mental illness.
That makes sense.
In general.
it does make a lot of sense. If you bring it down to an individual instead of a group, the same thing applies.
Yeah.
Right.
If you haven't figured it out, no one can tell you.
Yeah.
No one can be like, you're doing it wrong. This is how you need to heal.
Yeah.
You can't do that. It doesn't work.
Yeah. And so, it's good that I feel blessed now that I'm a Black man who now can be like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to, and especially to other Black men, and be like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to feel like you need to reach out to others for help.
Yeah.
And this is something that you shouldn't have to go through alone. And, we're all going through something, some of us are dealing with it harder than others. But, so I think that maybe the purpose was me being able to now go out and actually talk to people like I do it. I try to do it at my shows and talk and let people know they're not alone.
You do that, and you do it in a way that isn't preachy, because it could be, you're not alienating anybody with the way you're speaking.
I try not to,
and it's really easy to do that when you try to talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the other thing is the way you're describing it is it's almost like you get to be part of the healing process. Like you actually are an active part of it. You are pushing things in a direction you think, from your perspective, I agree with you, but that it needs to go.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. It's hard to always articulate, especially in live settings, because I'm like, I know there's people who have a lot of different beliefs here, and I'm not trying to push, because I'm saying this is what worked for me. What worked for me might not necessarily work for you, but if you are going through something needs to happen, because we want you here, and I don't want you to be in a situation where you feel like you need to take your life like I did, you know? And if you are in that situation, I want to let you know that there are people here who are more than happy to help you.